Hi, welcome back to the Shin Academy. This is chapter 4 of Creativity Inc. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel or like our Facebook page to follow the entire series on this awesome book. In chapter 4, Catmull talks about establishing Pixar's identity. There are two principles that he used in Pixar to make sure that they continue to be successful in this area. First, story is king. Catmull emphasized a lot on storytelling because he believes that storytelling is the one that will sell the movie. Second principle, trust the process. For Catmull, he believes that process is often the benchmark or often the tool that we use to govern a team, and we should not disturb the process unless there's a need of change. Even though somehow later in the book he had a change in mind in the second principle, but in this chapter he illustrates these two principles using two different stories. As you can see in the image, in 1997, the executives in Disney proposed that Toy Story 2 to be released as a direct video release. Well, you might be asking, why is not Disney trying to propose Toy Story 2 to be a movie release? But because at that point of time, sequel of an animation film is usually a flop. Because that kind of makes sense on why Disney decided to make Toy Story 2 as a video-only release. But for Pixar, this is a problem because they didn't know how to aim low. They always have a high standard on the release, but they didn't know how to aim low when Disney decided to ask them to release Toy Story 2 as a video-only release. This kind of created a negative impact in the culture because there are two different teams working on two different projects. On your left, you have Team A working on A Bug's Life, which is a movie release. It's going to be a big thing. And Team B, they are going to work on Toy Story 2, which is only a video release. But along the way, they actually persuaded Disney to release Toy Story 2 as a movie release because they do not want to create a culture like what I explained in the earlier video, where there's a separation between the artists as well as the production managers. So to start the production of Toy Story 2, Catmull picked a new team backed by experienced worker. And the story goes like this. Woody will be sold in a yard sale to a toy collector and they will be locked away and never be played again. But a year after the production, Catmull and John Lasseter noticed sign of trouble. Because the team is new, the directors were requesting for more John Lasseter time. The new directors lack confidence, and the whole movie is not going the correct way. It's not moving forward. John managed to take a look at the movie and he believed it was a disaster. And Disney agreed to let John to redo it. So John took the initiative to replace all the directors and fix its story. According to Ed, at that time, it was like a heart transplant because everything was planned earlier. Everything that was planned earlier was being changed by John again, especially on the story. As a Disney story, all of us know that there will be a happy ending to every movie that will be released. So at that time, John was trying to play the conflict in Woody, because Woody was being taken away from the owner, and John wants to make sure that Woody will face a real dilemma in choosing between returning to the owner or stay with the toys that he met outside of Andy's room. And that's why they added this lady on your right. I couldn't remember his name. I think it's Jesse, to beef up the story and to create that conflict, to let Woody choose between the toys and Andy. So for 6 months, Toy Story 2, because of the slow progress, most of the employees were not sleeping well. They worked day and night to make sure that Toy Story 2 can be released on time. And Catmull actually said that they will not want to do a film similar to Toy Story 2 again because employees were working 7 days a week. But they believe that because from this experience, Ed Catmull believed that if you give a good idea to a mediocre team, they will screw it up, just like how Toy Story 2 was progressing at an earlier stage. But if you give a mediocre idea to a great team, they will either fix it or come up with something better. That is what John did with Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 2, after its release, went on to become one of the greatest sequel. They had one of the best opening in terms of sequel for animation film. So Ed Catmull learned that it's very important for management to take a long view and protect the people in the company. And because of that, Ed Catmull emphasized a lot in the people in Pixar. And Pixar, because people in Pixar take pride in their work. And Ed Catmull, the author, wants to make sure that he creates a culture in which taking leave is not being seen as an impediment to career advancement. And leadership for him means paying close attention to the ever-changing dynamics in the workplace. For example, younger employees, of course, they can work longer hours and cannot be compared to employees who have been promoted to parents. And he believed that words like quality and excellence are misapplied because excellence itself is a word that must be earned. So make sure you tune in to the Shin Academy for chapter 5 until the end of the book. Thank you.